Good night, guys. Let me just use this opportunity, first of all, to say Happy New Year to all persons, friends, and otherwise who have not really seen or spoken to over the old year into the new year. I hope that you're having a good year so far. It's probably 13 days into the new year. I hope that it has been a good one, and that whatever plans, whatever dream, whatever hopes, whatever aspirations you have for the upcoming year, that it will come to life, it will be achieved, it will be realized. Nevertheless, you have to work hard, and that's why I tell everybody, work hard, and in working hard you will see success. Anyhow, this video that you're seeing, what is about, it's just to share my opinion on a matter, on an issue that is really down my alley, down my street, something that I enjoy talking about, and that's sports. Specifically tonight we're talking about track and field, and I'm just led to share my opinion on an issue where few people have been asking me what's my take, what's my opinion, what's my belief, what's my stance. And again, I am one of those persons who tell you that everyone's view can contend, everyone opinion can contend. So let me share mine. It is about the issue of high school recruitment of athletes. And you probably, if you're not sure as to talking about high school and athletes, if you are not up to scratch with what happens yearly in Jamaica, there is an annual high school boys and girls championship that takes place every year, around about March, there about time of Easter, close to that time. And this year it's going to be taking place from March 24th through to March 28th. And what has really started the new year was this discussion about some schools ramping up their squads and their roster as they prepare to go into the season, and as they seek to make themselves ready for championships. And the issue again of athletes recruitment and transfers has come up again in the media, and it has come up on social media or mainstream media for discussion. Again, people have been asking what's my take. The whole discussion really started again, if you're following the news and seeing where Kingston College, which is one of the perennial boys and girls, the boys team that usually is on show at the annual championship, and they have been one of the top contender for many years, having won the championships many times, and actually they are the defending champions, having won in 2018. So the issue came up as to their decision to have gone overseas to recruit athletes, to boost and to sort of ensure that they have a strong squad all one going into the championship. Alright, but first of all, the first matter at hand, is recruitment new to high school track and field? No, it has been happening for as long as I know it. I'm not saying that I have been around from when the championships have started, but from the little time from I was an athlete into me following and giving a keen interest in the championships and its annual showcase and what it has to offer yearly, I would have seen athletes from different schools who are not Jamaicans, but they are recruited, and not for just a single year, some for 3 years, some for 4 years, some for them all their athletics career. They have been running at our high school championships and being associated with a particular high school. Some have gone on to represent their own country. Well, I think most of them that I know of, I'm aware of, have gone back home to represent their countries. So it is not only a KC thingy where they are the only one that does it. A lot of schools do it. When I was running, I can remember there was an athlete from KC's, one of KC's strongest rivals in Calabar, and if you remember the name, Jarrell Belafonte. I think he was from Cayman. That guy was an MD, middle distance by that, I mean by MD, longer distance runner. And I ran with him, I think, once or twice. And that guy was super outstanding. But he was not a Jamaican. And he was here and running for Calabar. And he did so outstanding for them. And a lot of persons at the time didn't have much to say about him being here. I remember JC had a sprinter that now runs for Great Britain. And actually, Great Britain has a few athletes that ply their trades here. If you look at the team that they had at the two last major championship, there's a name that stands out. Nathaniel Mitchell Blake. That sprinter that runs for UK or Great Britain, as we call it, is not a Jamaican. Zarnell Lewis wasn't a Jamaican. He ran for KC. Delano Williams, who ran for Great Britain, is not a Jamaican. He ran for Monroe College. So the schools have always been recruiting athletes, whether it's intentionally or is the athletes who reach out to them, or is their affiliation, be it family or friends in Jamaica, and they decide to come here. Because again, it doesn't only offer to them track opportunity or field opportunities, it also offers to them a chance to get an education at quality high schools. And we have some of the best high schools in the Caribbean, in the Western Hemisphere, and by extension in the world. We have some very good high school and high school systems. So back to the issue of KC recruiting some African runners or East African runners. If you remember last 2017, I think that's when their first East African came, and that sort of raised a lot of eyebrows, and that was the young man who goes by the name of Aramania Rogers. He still runs for them. So he came here, and he came from Uganda. And a lot of people at the time were saying, wow, KC has gone for an African to be in their squad. And a lot of us who follow track and field know that the Africans are known for their middle distance, their long distance spurts, and their abilities, and they dominate those events. So when we saw him coming, a lot of people were like, wow, let's see what this young man can do, what changes will he made. This year now, they have even gone a little bit further. Not only have they gone back to Uganda or have attracted another talent from Uganda, they have attracted two other talents, from my understanding, from rival country to Uganda, and that's Kenya. So they have not, and my surprise is not only on middle distance or long distance athlete they have attracted a sprinter from that country. So they have two Kenyan athletes. Their names aren't with me right now. I'm gonna tell you the names very shortly. And they have also gotten another Ugandan athlete, and I understand that Ugandan athlete, I think he go by the name Chris Poss. I think that's Ari Raja. I think that's his cousin, based on what I saw in one of the thing that I read. I'm not sure of that, but that's what I read, that they are cousins. And there are two Kenyan athletes. I think one is Aaron Tanui and Emmanuel Ayet. Those are two Kenyan athletes. Tanui runs middle distance, long distance, by my understanding, and Emmanuel Ayet is a sprinter. So those two are in their squads. What people are making much of is it something now that KC is overdoing or going overboard with? I can't say yes or no to that, because if the rules permit, allows for transfers, I am almost sure that they are abiding and operating within the confines of the rule. I'm not saying to you that I know all the rule that governs high school track and field in Jamaica. What I know I've heard repeatedly is that all the sports that are run by ISA are amateur sports, and they are extensions of, so the various championships and series and tournaments are extensions of physical education classes. So the footballs, the basketballs, the volleyballs, the netballs, swimming, you name it, track and field, in the midst of it are extensions of these physical education programs, which we all do in high school. If you're a part of a Jamaican school, you understand us having physical education classes. So it allows for athletes who have talents, who want to showcase their talent at that level in representing their school, first of all, are given that opportunity. So athletes are encouraged. It may not be their sole priority of going to high school to do sport, but if you are good at a sport or sports, you're encouraged to really participate and to do your best. So that's not new to anybody. If you follow high school sports, you understand exactly what that's all about in terms of athletes being given the opportunity to participate. My belief, and again that's my opinion, is that if this is an extension for our high school athletes, I would want for all our high school athletes to express a desire to participate in this extension of what is called their physical education class, to be given the opportunity and not to be denied that opportunity, because from that can spring forth a career. It can be an agent of nurturing in terms of their social upbringing, their maturity, their development. So it can be of many benefits to these athletes. So I would really desire and really want for our athletes to be given equal opportunity, and worse if they have a talent, for it to be showcased and to be nurtured. These athletes coming in from other countries, again I said to you before, girls team do it, boys team do it. They attract athletes. So let me use the word carefully. I'm not always sure if it's a recruitment drive, or it's a case that the athletes are attracted to the country, attracted to what takes place at that level, and therefore they express an interest, and again the opportunity has been granted to them as well, and they do come and they do participate, and they do add to the level of excitement, the level of energy, that level of rivalry that we see year after year, that really makes for some very interesting and exciting championships. So I'm not against athletes coming, so get that right. What I stand for is that I would want for our local athletes who have the opportunity to be given a fair chance. So yes, I welcome the addition of the Africans to the KC squad and to other schools. We hear that JC has recruited athletes, some from the Caribbean otherwise, but I don't want them to be coming here and necessarily having our local talents being shelved, and those other countries get the opportunity to showcase their talents at the championships, when we don't know what we could be doing or damaging even the hopes and the dreams of our local athletes, who feel for some reason probably are not good enough and being overlooked. Because yes, I think ability wise these Africans might be better than our athletes in terms of the middle distance events. That holds some weight because of what we know of the Africans. But we'd have seen even in 2017 that is not all true, because the same Aaron Rodgers, when he came here, he lost an event and he was beaten by a local talent. So he was made to be built, for us to believe that he was invincible when he initially came. But we saw where he was competitive, he's good, but he was not unbeatable. So that might be the same for those who are coming. So let's not get too over the edge with the fact that they are coming from Africa. Oh, they're gonna dominate everything and some. All I'm saying, I hope that our local talents get the opportunity to shine as well. I also want it not to become a situation where the championships really loses its touch in terms of there's that level of excitement and intrigue is not there because one school is really super dominant. For many of my years watching championships, it was Calabar. They won year after year after year after year. I think Wilma was one of the years that I was there and also looking on. But it became so boring to see one school dominating. And nothing brings more excitement than when to see schools from varying length and distances across the country able to challenge and to compete equally. And now it attracts more supporters because everybody in Jamaica has a school that they support. Some up to support a school I didn't go to, while some remain very loyal and committed to their alma maters. So they do look forward to see their school be represented at the Boys and Girls Championships. So I am one of those persons who is all for equal opportunities and having the play field as balanced as is possible, so that it's more attractive, a product that is more attractive to me as I look on. I don't want it to be predictable. I don't want it to be a case where it's sort of predetermined based on the talents that usually come from these institutions, and one school having a vast majority of talents with athletes who are super good. Another school now have athletes who are just average or less than average. So for those who are asking me what do I believe, I don't have a problem with KC recruiting the athletes. They're coming here. Who to told? As I said before, some of the ones in the past who have gone back to represent their respective countries. But we see at least switch allegiance. Not only Jamaicans who switch allegiance to other country. We might be lucky to see some of these same Africans in the future running for us, coming here, enjoying the culture here, liking what they see. They probably can change, because in their country again, it's a competitive world. Just like when sprinting in Jamaica is really competitive as regards to those who will get the opportunity to always represent the country. So we have a vast amount of talent, but not everybody can run. So some will switch to other country. In in the African countries, they might have a lot of distance runners where not everybody gets the opportunity to represent their country. So some might just have a liking for Jamaica and so decide that, hey, I want to represent the country, represent Jamaica. So we may not know. It could also be that they're coming here, and they're coming here now could even encourage our local athletes now to sort of take more interest and have more what we call now stronger competition that allows for them to develop even more their own talents. Because again, we talk about it for years. I've heard arguments of administrators, coaches alike, track supporters saying, let's export let's send some more talents, our best high school talents, to these countries to spend some time to live and to train and to go to school so they can develop based on the level of competition that they're exposed to. I guess if the Africans are coming to us now, it might be a good ground for us, or at least to train with them to get that competitive edge and to have world class competition, because they're gonna meet these Africans from these same African countries, from Uganda, from Kenya, from UK, from Caribbean countries, when they go to the regional games and when they go to world championships and world junior games and world youth games and youth Olympics. So it might be a good platform for them now to start working harder. It could be an incentive for them to put out more effort. So yes, KC benefits, but the country might also benefit in the long run. As I said before, because these athletes might, at the end of their high school tenure year, their time here, might just decide to go back home to their country, having gained an exposure. And truth be told, some of them coming here might not all have that opportunity in their countries to run. Some of them probably coming here to even learn to develop their athletic career. We see a sprinter, I said before, in one of them, and Jamaica is a sprint capital of the world. What if it that attracts a young man to come and to want to be a part of our high school competitions? We don't know. And there's another thing that I see a lot of people comparing, saying that in US, a lot of athletes go to US. I would not go there, because I think the collegiate system, as opposed to our high school system in Jamaica, is two different things to talk about. So colleges coming in to recruit high school athletes, they understand what they're doing. So again, if we should move the discussion to the collegiate circuit, we realize that we have a good high school track program in Jamaica. US probably don't have that good of a high school track program, or as attractive as it is to our fans as it is to their fans. But they have an excellent collegiate system. We have a very good high school track program, a track and field program. But our collegiate programs out here is so watered down, is so unattractive, it's just very average, if you ask me, in terms of what is put forward every year. And again, because a lot of the athletes either stop running or they go overseas. and they have very reason to go overseas, because college education, when it comes to you free and you can use a talent to achieve an education, I am all for that. I can't say to you don't go for it. Sometimes better training opportunities, sometimes better management, sometimes better care, or university in Jamaica are getting more and more interested and more um, and have probably now caught up to the idea of having sport as a big part of their existence, and therefore they are no more looking out for high school athletes and offering scholarships and such delight to high school athletes coming out of high schools, so they can both have their college educations and they can also build on their high school their athletic career as they seek to transition further into becoming professional athletes. So I can't be against the US system recruiting from our high school here in Jamaica, because what, we have a very attractive product, we have a lot of talents, we have a lot of people who needs the opportunity to educate themselves, to make much of their athletic talents with good competition, because their system, that's the NCAA system in America, is very organized. It is very well run and supported. In high school, a lot of high schools do well in Jamaica, and I say a lot very cautiously, because it's almost predictable here. The school that does well, the top 5 or the top 10 schools, are the ones who have some amount of support. We don't really support most of the high schools, and I'm talking when I say support, corporate sponsors and those things don't support these athletes, because to a lot of schools is just another opportunity given to athletes as a form of an extracurricular activity. So like you have some schools who are big in music, some are big in drama, some are big in other areas of extracurricular interest, that sports is just another one. So though principals organize these competitions, though they have a vested interest in, though they allow their schools to participate, it's just another way of giving the athletes an opportunity to enjoy their high school career. So let's just, guys, don't make a big deal of it. I'm not a Kingston supporter, college supporter. I'm not a defender of Kingston College. I'm just sharing my take on the matter. It is serious, but not so serious. Serious in that schools really are taking the championship serious, because sports is now a big business, is a serious business. It's not so serious because what? It might just be a case where it all ends where it starts at champs for a lot of these runners from Africa. They may not even want to become pro athletes, but just that they want to be here to enjoy growing up and having an high school experience. So let them come, let them experience. Let's see what it has to offer for us as the fans. We want to see an attractive and exciting product. We are here for it. We want it. Let us all enjoy it. We will not always like everything, because if it's not on our team, if it's not for our team, we will not support it. That's all right. Support your team. I'll support my team. And encourage everybody, be a fan of your team, be a supporter of your team, but don't be an unnecessary critic, or a critic who speaks out of term and of bias and has absolutely no real merit on which we say things. Champs is just around the corner. Enjoy the local meets, enjoy the development meets, enjoy every moment, and when champs come, turn out, show up, and enjoy what the school has to bring. It's gonna be good. I tell you already. If you're not tuning, if you're not ready for it, you're gonna miss out. 2019 was excellent. 2020 will be much better. Alright, until then, take care of yourself, and let's just continue to support track meets. If you don't have the calendar, go Google it. It is in the public's domain. Find it, go out and support. Mark the dates and be there. Alright, take care.